The crossover that nobody was expecting, Cyberpunk and Avatar. Can it get any better than that? If you still can't decide between which life path to choose, and you love Avatar: The Last Airbender, then this video is just for you. I wanted to mix one of my favorite shows with Cyberpunk for a bit of fun and laughs while we wait for the release of the game. So, let's get into it. The world of Cyberpunk and Avatar aren't too different really when you think about it. There is a power that has taken over most of everything, with people living in fear and just trying to survive. The Avatar show has many characters that fall into these three life paths of Cyberpunk: the Nomads, Street Kids, and the Corpos. I do have videos on all three of those, and if you would like to check those out, I will leave them down below in the description. I want to start with the bad guys first, and these are the Corpos in Cyberpunk. I find them to be the most interesting life path in the game as well. Corpos are ambitious, brutal, powerful, and not afraid to do whatever is necessary for personal gain. When thinking of Avatar, the first person that comes to my mind for this life path is Firelord Ozai. He is the sheer embodiment of the Corpo values in Avatar. Ozai wanted to control the entire world, sacrificing whatever or whoever was necessary. He was even going to kill his own son Zuko to be Firelord, but before that happened, his wife was forced to help him and sacrifice her own life living with her son, so that Ozai could kill his own father and take the reins. This literally sounds like something that could legitimately happen in Cyberpunk. Now, the head of the Corpos usually want an heir to their businesses, and Ozai had his heirs. And fans of Avatar will know exactly who I'm going to bring up next. Ozai's favorite daughter, Azula. Azula absorbed her father's ideals at a very young age. She believed that power and domination were the defining traits of strength, and she would use anyone she could for her benefit, as she did with her friends Ty Lee and May. She even laughed at her brother when she found out her father was going to kill him. I mean, if that isn't an evil corpo, I don't know who is. The world of Cyberpunk is brutal, and these two would be the head of the Arasaka Corporation, and be welcomed with open arms. If you're a fan of these two treacherous people, then maybe a Corpo life path is just for you. Zuko grew up in a Corpo lifestyle, but he never really lived up to those expectations because of his mother, who always showed him love. Zuko for me fits the lifestyle of the Nomads of Cyberpunk. They roam the world looking for work, they are educated, but most importantly, value honesty and family over everything. I mean, Zuko isn't looking for work per se, he is working while traveling. But what makes him a nomad is his education, but more importantly, is his love for his family. He always wanted love from his father and proved he could be the heir to his throne. He embraced his love from his mother, who had a lasting impact on his life. One big key element of the Nomads is that you can pick your family, and Zuko finally finds his family with Team Avatar. For me, Zuko is the most nomad of all the characters. Continuing the family theme here, Uncle Iroh also makes the nomad cut. Iroh was a full Corpo, the Dragon of the West as he was known. He was feared, powerful, and embraced his role as heir to the Fire Lord's throne. But when his son, Lu Ten, died, he changed. He became a nomad, traveling with Zuko, teaching him about life and respecting other people. Also for Zuko to love himself. Iroh loved his family and did everything for Zuko, making him a nomad within the Cyberpunk to the fullest. If you're leaning towards nomad like myself, I love Zuko in Avatar. He was my favorite character, and playing a nomad could have the same storytelling. In the trailer, we see V ripping off his family's name. Maybe V gets banished from his own family and has to go prove his worth in Night City. This is identical to Zuko's story, and maybe we can even find a family of our own to join within Night City. Last but not least are the Street Kids. Those who live their lives on the streets of the city, having knowledge of the streets and the gangs, and having tons of run-ins with the law. Who does this sound like? Well, Team Avatar, of course. While they didn't grow up on the streets, they did spend most of their lives going from city to city, getting vast knowledge of how to survive out there, and well, most importantly, always getting into trouble with every law officer they ever encountered. Team Avatar are the representation of freedom within the story of Avatar. And in Cyberpunk, the Street Kids are the same thing, pushing limits and fighting the man. They do show nomadic traits as well. Family is huge for them, like their biggest arc. But why I put them into the Street Kids section is the fact that they live a poor life. And the key factor is that they have run-ins with the law constantly, which is what the Street Kid life path is about. Each character does have mixes with each life path. Aang, for instance, has shown traits of all three life paths. His nomad is his traveling, obviously, but he is one of the most educated of the team, which is valued by the Nomads, as well as being part of a family, which he lost and got back with Katara, Sokka, and Toph, and of course Appa and Momo. He showed signs of being Corpo when he lost Appa for a few episodes, showing his power with his avatar state and doing anything to find him. He even left Katara, Sokka, and Toph behind in the desert to find Appa. They could have actually died out there, but he was too busy being selfish to care. Just like Aang being the only one to learn all the elements, he is the one that can be all 3 life paths. And yeah guys, that's my guide on picking a life path with your favorite avatar characters. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below who your favorite avatar characters are and what life path you're going to take in Cyberpunk. Don't forget to sub to the channel so you can keep up to date to everything Cyberpunk. And remember, always take it to the edge. It's the Cyberpunk way.